So I have moved a ton of boxes for the resource drive. I've finished all of the companies. I have all the rewards, and I need a break. That's over 2,800, like 4 SCU boxes just from cargo hauling, and then oh my gosh, 11,000 SCU of cargo. So now I need a break from cargo hauling, and today I decided I'm going to go mining. And so I'm going to share with you a website that I use frequently to help myself go mining, and a lot of SC miners will actually use this website as well. So I'm going to give you some practical examples as well if you're a solo miner using the Prospector / Golem or the Mole to go out mining. And we'll go from there. And you may be wondering, Sax, why are you going out and mining for tungsten, copper, corundum if you've already completed the resource drive? And that's because I'm helping my org mates who haven't, or they don't have as much time as I do to play the game. So I want to make sure that my org mates are covered and I can help them out in getting their cargo done for the resource drive. Every Monday we have an Industry Monday, and so we go through cargo hauling, mining, salvaging, and in the future it'll be involve different crafting aspects as they come out. And if you're interested in getting involved in large org gameplay, you can check out the Cube at discord.gg/thecube, and you can sign up to apply to be assimilated over there. I'm Saxawine with SC Haulers. Let's get into this haul. So if you're new to mining, one of the websites that I love to use is called Regolith.rocks. And here you have a ton of different data points, and everything is player gathered data. And so there is a chance for human error, especially at the beginning of a new patch. There was one time I used this website and it said that Selin had a 100% chance to spawn Quantanium, which was not accurate. It was just the beginning of a new patch, and whoever was uploading on Selin was only uploading rocks that had Quantanium. But that being said, if we look at the data now, we'll go to ore types by location. You can see a lot of this has leveled out. And so on Hurston, we can see Quantanium's 2%, Terranite, Bexlite, and Gold are at 11, 12, 13, and there is a huge 94% chance that you will get iron while you're on Hurston. Now we can look at these statistics a little bit further. Let's just turn these filters off, and we'll turn on advanced stats by clicking this button right here. And you can see for Hurston's had 256 scans. So 256 scans within 55 rock clusters. And of those rock clusters, they got 94% iron. And that's just the basics of how you read it. So obviously not a lot of people are mining on Selin. But you can see here in the Air and Halo, they have 3,064 scans on 2,417 clusters. So it gives you a lot of information that you can use to figure out where you want to go mining at. Now, for the resource drive, there's 3 materials that we want: tungsten, corundum, and copper. Now, tungsten going through the mining quest is going to give you your biggest payout at 1,080 AUEC. So I'm just going to scroll down here real quick and look through this. 55% chance for tungsten on Mike L3, but I know that is Mike L3 is asteroids, and asteroids are just a mixed bag, if you will. So we'll take a look at the advanced stats, and you'll see it only has 78 scans. So that is still quite a bit, but not compared to everything else. So you have 55% chance for tungsten. You have a 46% chance for aluminum at Mike L3 if you like asteroid mining, but I wouldn't count on this. Asteroids tend to have a mixed bag of resources. Oh, you know what we could do? I forgot. We can turn off the asteroid. This will only give us planets and moons that we can mine on. So here, Monox. Monox is a great choice. So 52% for tungsten, 29 for copper, and 19 for aluminum. Now this option is great if you want to go purely for tungsten. and that's because it is so close to checkmate. It's going to be like 8.9 grandmas away from checkmate. Bloom doesn't have a lot for us, 27% copper, which is unfortunate because I really like Bloom. And it doesn't look like really anything else is worth our while in Pyro. Now, there's not anything high percentage for copper except for Aberdeen, but you're also splitting that between 20 iron and quartz. If we look at Microtech, Microtech's always huge for corundum, and so it looks like almost 50-50 for corundum and quartz in the Microtech system on all planets. Looks like there's a 37% chance for copper here as well. So if you want to go for copper and corundum, you can go to Euterpe. The only downside to mining in the Microtech system, and the same goes for Monox in Pyro 1, is that all of these freaking locations have weather, and pretty bad weather sometimes too. If you're in a Prospector or a Golem, this isn't going to be much of an issue because you can control the ship. This is more of an issue with your solo mole miners. I mean, you could be in the middle of fracturing a rock, and then all of a sudden your ship has moved over 30 meters and it's still drifting. So if you're going to solo mole mine, I would recommend going to Monox over the other locations. If you are going in the Golem, I would recommend going to Clio. If you're in the Prospector, you can go to either or Monox or any of the Microtech systems. It's got enough quantum fuel to actually make it to the stations and back on multiple trips. I personally wouldn't recommend the Prospector or the Golem going to Monox just because of the lower cargo capacity. So unless you have a ship that can hold your extra ore pods or something that you're just leaving in the middle of nowhere and you're swapping them out as you need to, I would recommend avoiding Monox if you are only going to use the Prospector and the Golem. Now, if you need to know which refineries have the best yield bonuses, Regolith.rocks also has that information. You can basically get any mining information on Regolith.rocks. So again, I'm going to leave that in the link. I'm going to leave that link in the description down below, and you can use that for all your mining references. So now I'm going to get into mining on Monox, and we're going to show you a little bit of what it looks like on Monox. And what I mean is like the nodes, how often do you see tungsten? And it's surprisingly high. So for my solo Prospector and Golem miners, I would recommend you get a ship that can hold extra ore pods. And so you don't have to use a Caterpillar. That's just what I chose to use because I don't really use it that often. And so I filled up the cargo bays with extra MISC ore pods. I plan on using my Prospector. So what we're going to do here is just park the Caterpillar somewhere. We're just going to quantum to one of these spots and then go in the SCM mode and cancel our quantum drive. You could also just turn off the quantum drive to stop your planetary rotation to whatever point you went to. And we're just going to be in the middle of nowhere. We're just going to take this bad boy down to the planet. I should have mentioned this prior, but if you what you're going to need first is going to be a friend that you know is going to be on the same server for an extended period of time. Otherwise, you're going to need a C2 that can fit the Golem in it. Currently, the only ship that can fit the Prospector is the Idris and maybe the Polaris. I can't remember if the Polaris hangar can actually fit the Prospector. But that being said, you're going to need a friend that is on the same server as you and that is going to be there for an extended period of time. That way you can exit to menu and then go get your other ship, whether that's the Golem or the Prospector. So we're back at Monox, and I need to find my Caterpillar. Now, it is directly below me, but I don't necessarily want to be in Quantum going 127 kilometers, 127,000 kilometers. So what I can do is press F1 to go to my home screen. In the drop-down menu, select your ship, hit the little pip on the right-hand side, and it'll show you where your ship is at. And then you click on the marker for your ship, and then hit the navigate button on the left-hand side. And now you have a quantum point to your ship, which is awesome. Now, this doesn't work all the time. I struggle with this if I'm in a station. Like, if I'm at checkmate and I want to set a quantum marker to my Caterpillar, I'm not going to be able to do that. For some reason, the map will just not leave the checkmate station. And so you're just sitting there staring at the map of what checkmate looks like in your hangar. So I would recommend, if you want to use this, the most success I've had is if the ship was on a planet and if you were in space when you tried to get a quantum marker for it. So our first scan is going to be on Nice, and I know Nice doesn't have any tungsten in Pyro, but it still has a chance for copper, so we are going to scan it. A good tip to know is if you scan that first node and it doesn't have that base material that you're looking for, like tungsten, copper, corundum, none of the other nodes or none of the other geodes in that node are going to have copper, tungsten, or corundum, which is why I flew away almost immediately. Now, this is my first time pulling out the Prospector, so I don't have the right stuff on here. I'm using a Hofstede with a Torrent 3 module, so it's not exactly ideal for breaking rocks. But you can see that these rocks here on Monox are just gigantic. And so with one mole, you could get half of your cargo load with one of these rocks. And so with the Prospector, what I'm going to do is just take these little ones right here and then move on to the next and fill up the entire cargo hold. But you can see just 2 nodes in, or 2 nodes scanned, I already have a bunch of tungsten ready to go. So the next steps after this would be go to the Caterpillar, offload the bags, and replace empty bags on the Prospector. But I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my mole and show you what it's like to fill up the mole on Monox with tungsten. Gosh, this gray cat paint looks so good. Okay, so we have a felsic deposit, and the one thing I love about felsic is that they tend to be smaller geodes, so you can crack them or fracture them a little bit easier. They do have tungsten in them, so because they are smaller rocks, this would be ideal for your Golem or Prospector. Is this felsic deposit right here, if you had the correct setup, because there are a few rocks here that are a little bit bigger, like this one. So a Golem with a Riger C3 and a Surge module, or a Prospector with a Helix 1 and a Riger C3 and a Surge module would be ideal for this particular situation. And so I'm in my left side laser now. It is an Impact 2 with a Torrent 3 module, or 2 Torrent 3 modules and a Filter XL module. And I went with the 2 Torrent 3s just because I want that faster optimal charge rate. I want the rocks to crack faster. So these rocks are smaller. I can pick up most of them, but I'm going to have to crack a few of them. And because they are felsic, I can use the Impact 2 to just crack all of them. I will have to maneuver this ship because, as you can see, I'm a little far away. Yeah, just like I thought. I'm too far away, so I don't have enough power in the Impact 2. So I'm going to have to readjust, and we will be back after we crack these rocks. Oh god, wrong button! Oh! I don't think I lost a thruster. Yeah, it's still there. Okay. Doesn't look damaged. But we're gonna go repair it anyways. But let's get these rock first. Okay, so we're back at checkmate, and it looks like I got 83 SCU worth of ore and I got 43 SCU of tungsten and 16 SCU of copper. So just a reminder, I'm bringing this up because in, I want to say it was 4.2, they decreased the amount of processing time there is, and they also decreased the cost. So if you want to go with the pyrometric chromo analysis, whatever, and get your ore in 2 hours, it's not going to cost that much. I just did, what was that, 60 SCU worth of copper and tungsten, and it's going to take 2 hours, and it cost me 3,000 AUEC. So don't hesitate to use the faster route if you want to. It's not going to be as expensive as it used to be. So I needed this mission more than I thought I did. It's easy, flexible, and lets you mine your way through the Second Life resource drive without grinding elevators or stacking boxes. Run a solo prospector, a golem, grab your org and a mole, store ore in a C2. However you do it, if you got rocks, they'll take them. If this video helped, hit that like button and let me know in the comments how you're running it. I'd love to hear if other miners are as relieved as I am. And if you want more content around mining, hauling, and industrial gameplay, you already know. Subscribe for more and hit that notification bell. I'm Saxawine with SC Haulers. Thanks for watching. Love you, bye.
I live inside my own world of make-believe.